today, it says we're betting $100 on Trump. We are betting a little more than $100 on what Donald Trump is going to say during his Oval announcement. I always forget. Let me turn on the chat. I have to turn it on after stream, I think, starts. Here we are. Boom, boom, boom. Bum, bum, bum. Yes. We are betting on what Trump is going to say during the Oval Office, right? He's supposed to speak at 5 p.m. It's 5:01 p.m. right now. We know he's always a little bit late. Just a little bit of context on what the Oval announcement is actually seriously about, right? It's a new drug pricing model that's going to be available on trumprx.gov. Specifically, it's like a partnership drug with this UK company called AstraZeneca, right? And it follows his May 12th executive order on changing how the drug system works in America. So I use that specifically for my research. That May 12th executive order was like the preamble to this Oval announcement. It's like more specific on it. So I used the transcript of the May 12th executive order to try and find smart bets for Donald. Right? The biggest position I got is going to be Medicare or Medicaid. This announcement is so tied to Medicare. It's unbelievable, right? It's supposed to make Medicaid prescriptions more affordable for all senior citizens or 65 and older on Medicaid. It's supposed to make their drugs affordable. Donald Trump does like to say the word Medicare and Medicaid. He does say both frequently, right? In the May 12th announcement, Medicare or Medicaid was said 6 different times. 3 times he said Medicare and 3 times he said Medicaid. I've taken 300 shares of yes at 80 cents for a little 20% return. I think it's $240 to make 60. At this point, I don't know if anyone is following how my account is going. I will be taking any profit, right? I believe Medicare is a lock today. He's going to say either Medicare or Medicaid. I've bet on other words though, but if anyone's following how my account is going, I'm low-key in the gutter, right? This is probably my rock bottom. I'm negative 1,300 on Kalshi, so I will be taking $60 when I can. Another one I have, a higher strike, is health or healthy. This actively applies to Americans, right? He's going to flaunt the fact that his drug system is going to make Americans more healthy. And again, he has the MAHA RFK Jr. slogan, Make America Healthy Again. RFK Jr. was there during the May 12th announcement, and he did say health 7 times during the preamble to this Oval Office announcement. So I think healthy is also a lock, right? I've not updated this. This is not 300 shares. This is, I'll let you know. We've got 25 shares of yes. At that 76, though, I couldn't get fills, right? That's how many I put in for fills, right? You little fucks haven't filled it, but we got 25 shares of yes. I really think like 7 times in the May 12th announcement, especially if RFK Jr. is there. He's just gonna flaunt the fact he's gonna make Americans healthy again, right? And that this drug is just gonna make them more healthy. And a little Easter egg is he had his medical yesterday, right? So he might describe his own health as like, I have the best health of any president at this age. He had his little physical. They touched his balls. They cubed him and everything. And I got a little bit on Chicago and Portland. It did seem like my fills did fill on this. Not an average of 55 cents. Is it? I think it is. I think it actually is. All right, Loxy. I got my thing right. Trump is just obsessed with Portland and Chicago right now. It was said like something like 30 times during the Antifa announcement. I know that doesn't apply to this Oval Office announcement, but bro is just obsessed with Portland and Chicago. It's crazy. Melania is speaking right now. We're going to have soon President Trump speaking. this can hit in different ways, right? He can just say Portland or Chicago just as the town itself, right? And he can even say the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Portland. That's how a lot of these have been hitting, is he's been referencing it when you referencing the mayor. And I don't know what the mayor did, but they have pissed him off. Okay, what they did, he comes after them like every announcement. It's been like said 40 times or something during the Antifa announcement. I know the Oval Office is a different scenario, but I believe like even in this, it's supposed to be about his drug, about his Trump RX announcement. He's still going to talk. I think he's still going to be talking about Portland and Chicago. It's just, bro is so obsessed. It's always on his mind. Like, I don't know what they've done recently. If they've ruined his Clash rank. Or like, you know, they slept with Melania or what, dude? But the Portland and Chicago mayor have been taking it. Even more than Zoran, even more than Nuska, and people you'd think Trump would be going after. He's going after these two. So, you're attempting live trading today? Good luck, bro. I'm at the live trade too if I'm seeing some, like, if I get a little autistic tinge, you know what I'm saying? A little, like, devil on the shoulder. He's not going to say Biden. There's no way he says Biden. Don't listen to that one. Don't listen to that devil on the shoulder. Right? But these are my pre-market locks, right? Medicare or Medicaid. We can switch to the Kalshi website here. 300 shares of Medicaid. Right? An unrealized return of $60. We are taking what we can get at this point. The market seems to agree with me that, right, it's starting at 80 cents and it's going up to 86. Pre-market, we're seeing positives, okay? That doesn't happen too often. We're seeing a spike in Melania because she's speaking. I'm betting you, right? We can't switch to what the announcement could say. I'm thinking this Melania spike though is because Melania is speaking currently. Right? We took a pre-position. We got fills at 80 cents for Medicare, which was fantastic, honestly. If I got there even sooner, I could have got some in 70s, which, you know, I do my research a little bit before, right? I did an hour or 2 hours of research before this market, so I just got the fills out where I could. But we've seen already a 6% increase. And I had to increase that too. It seems Melania is walking away. A little swerve on it. Okay, Melania, a little swerve on her hips. We've got Trump speaking soon. We might have to live trade no on Melania. Honestly. Especially if there's like this little break in between. It did seem like pre-market, though, it wasn't like a crazy reaction to her speaking. It's almost like they knew that was going to happen. It was trading at like 60. So if it was like 20 cents and then jumped up to 50, that would have been a market reaction. But there's probably a chance she gets mentioned during the speech based off that. I was really considering hottest, right? If this is going to be like a Trump rally... If this is going to be like a rub-in Trump rally, I think it's going to be about both, right? So the Middle East is such a huge topic. You can see this reflected in the prices, right? For Israel. 85 cents. Sure, Israel, Gaza, it's going to get mentioned. I think he's flaunting the fact he's going to say he's ended his 8th war, right? He's going to count this as a ceasefire completely, this peace deal. Now, he was like pretty non-talking about it before because the deal wasn't done. He was saying like he was having to wait for this deal to be done. I think it's going to be about both. So I'm saying you could see this reflected in the prices. The fact that drugs at 96, pharmaceuticals at 91, deals at 96. This is obviously going to be in part the announcement about the new drug that's going to be available on Trump RX. That's going to help lower people's Medicare. Hopefully. That's what we're hoping. That's where we're hoping it's coming out. But I think you see this reflected in the prices as well. There is no chance he doesn't talk about Israel, right? Especially with the Q&A, he's going to get asked about it. He's talking about Israel. He's talking about the Gaza deal more likely than not. So this announcement is about the drug prices, but we know Trump. We know he goes off course. One Q&A question, and he can go 15 minutes sucking his own dick about how he ended the war in Gaza, essentially, today. So Nobel Peace Prize seems like a lock. If he mentions the war, I could see him saying, I should have won the prize. Now that is a good estimate. The market is seeming to agree with you that it's more likely than not. Now I would have to look at some of the transcripts and see, does he say Peace Prize? Does he say Nobel Prize? Or does he say Nobel Peace Prize, right? I don't know if he shits on the woman, the Peruvian woman, or not Peruvian. Sorry. Is she Peruvian? Sorry to all my Latina baddies out there. What's her name? God damn it. The lady who went against Marudo, right? I don't think he comes out and shits on her because he really hates Marudo too. I think he hates that Venezuelan opposition. Of course, he thinks he deserves it, and there's actually a really good shot, I think, of him winning it next year because of the ceasefire, but yeah, like, they're gonna ask him a question on it. It's just whether or not he says Peace Prize, he says Nobel Prize, or he says the entire word Nobel Peace Prize, right? If you think in transcripts that when he talks about it, or even specifically if you know some alpha about the reporters, that they're gonna possibly say Nobel Peace Prize and he's gonna say a more condensed version, like he's just gonna say Peace Prize, because I'm pretty sure this contract is specifically having him say the entire word. And I don't see him saying it during the Oval Office. He didn't even say it during Antifa, so she's Venezuelan. Yeah, I'm fucking no BBLs for me tonight, bro. I'm not getting grinded on to Bad Bunny tonight. They're like, you don't know the woman. Yeah, alley oops. So it's gonna be a question, but the idea is, like, if someone asked him a question about Nobel Peace Prize, he could just respond with like, yeah, I deserve the Peace Prize, and not the entire full thing, especially if they ask it in the question, or they ask a question about the lady that won it. Yeah, it's fine. It's on YouTube, so I'm using RSBN, right? Nothing to do with right side broadcast, okay? I'm not picking a side. I just think that's the lowest latency stream on YouTube, right? If you need lower latency, you can go to the announcement yourself and bet on it, but what the fuck is rare earth? Dude, earth is rare. There's only one of them. That's why people think, no. Rare earth is like the mineral deal. Specifically, I would probably bet no on this, right? I think Trump is more of a speaker than saying rare earth. Like, there's more of a chance that he uses more descriptive language, but this one's more of a transcript head one. Like, you just got to go. I can look up right now. Did he say it during the May 12th announcement? Because I bet significantly my position on him saying Medicare 6 times during the May 12th announcement. So if we go May 12th, right? We find that May 12th, January, February, March, April, May. 5/12. The question was for rare earth. Wasn't mentioned on that May 12th one. So, honestly, I think no would be a better position on that. What time's the stream? It's supposed to be at 5. I kind of went live at 5 knowing that he was going to take longer. But especially with like Oval Office announcements, they take long. Peru did lose their president last night, so that might be your confusion. You hit on the market too? It's one of them, Salvador Borders. It's one of them. Now we've got Trump speaking in maybe 5 minutes. Yeah. That is crazy, though. Do you think specifically that the Nobel Peace Prize itself was insider trading? So it was reflected on Polymarket first at 5 p.m. I've seen people like Domer come out and say it wasn't insider trading, that it was people that somehow used information to figure out it was her. Like whether that's flight logs or, you know, something else, like they know her mother. Apparently the voting was set by early October. So There's a chance that like it couldn't, if it was insider traded, it would have been happening before. I think if it did happen, it was first on Polymarket and then on Kalshi it was just reflected. Schumer feels so specific, man. The no looks juicy, right? He didn't say it during Antifa, right? Did he not say it during Antifa? I was thinking like a Schumer mention would have came during the Antifa one, right? Now, people are saying 90% he says shutdown. I think that's a higher chance. Shutdown was trading at 75% on the Antifa one. So people are saying there's more of a chance, like they are correlated. There is probably causation. I know my math teacher might hate me for saying that, but there's probably more of a chance he says that because of the shutdown odds. My guess is someone from our team was notified and they used the info for their benefit. It could be, right? It was from new Polymarket users, right? Their tag. If it was someone who found new information, you'd think that would be someone who's been using prediction markets for years, right? They would have an account before. But also, if they were privy to this new information that no one knew, it was trading at 1 cent, 2 cents that they could have got 50 times returns on, and they wanted to be really anonymous and not have people trade like based off their account, since their account was previously successful, they would make a dummy account and then trade off that one, if that makes sense, right? So that could explain why people didn't have the tags. Like it was a new Polymarket account, and then the people who trade on Kalshi, I believe, were just trading based off they knew that someone had privy information on Polymarket. Whether that was someone on our team or an absolute like nerd in their basement tracking her flight logs, or tracking, you know, have a Grok tracker and just data mine something on Reddit or X that basically confirmed it was her. I knew people were so on that market though, and data mining what it could have actually been. Doing simulations like that for voting trading, I think would be very cool on the new Oscars. If anyone's doing that for the Oscars, running simulations based off the personalities you know are voting. You know that it's like an LA base. You know it's like probably significantly liberal. You know, I don't want to say that. Maybe they got Rob Schneider voting, right? Maybe Kid Rock's in the Oscars voting, but I doubt it, right? Based off those simulations, for things like Oscar nominations. That would be so cool. Running some AI simulations like that. I saw something that supposedly some of the fresh wallets were also connected on Poly when you looked at the blockchain data. Yeah. Right? I'm not CoffeeZilla. Someone notify CoffeeZilla. Seriously, these are really cool things. He did a Lord Miles episode, and that was super interesting, right? Not to, you know, shit on Lord Miles. I made $500 from it. It's a joke. I didn't make any money from Lord Miles, right? I could do her fast. He's a pussy. I could do 40 days easily. I don't know, dude. Like, the fact that they're not... I think, though, if it was someone privy to information, they wouldn't use their main account, if that makes sense. They would create a false beta account. We're not getting Trump speaking yet, dude. I knew for a fact going live, right when he was supposed to be speaking is good. Because then, we can talk about it as he's, like, playing Clash Royale. I believe there is a market on how long he's going to be late, right? Is it front paged? Not front page. Yeah, how late will Trump be to the Oval Office announcement? The odds are skyrocketing, right? Starting at 15 minutes, now going to above 60. I am going to hedge the fact that I'm streaming right now and buy some of these. Why not? We'll buy the 65 cents one. Right, okay. Don't do ask. Only do limit orders, but it's for the clip, guys. He loves saying Chuck Schumer and the Democrats. True. Right? You're believing that the Democrats is an absolute lock, trading at 92. Schumer, if we look at the Antifa one, can we find that? This is the bilateral, with Schumer a strike here. Schumer was not a strike on the bilateral. He probably didn't say it. I really don't know. The cabinet meeting was the one where he was a strike. It was said it was trading at 60 cents. So lower than it was trading now. I don't know if it was said oh, look at that green number. Look at that. I don't know if Schumer was actually, let's see, shutdown odds were trading pre-market closer to what you're seeing now, 85. So if you're taking that, it was trading at pre-market 85, 89, and Schumer is trading at 60. Today's meeting, oh, not during his sprint in Israel, although that is cool. We've got Schumer trading, so shutdown's trading at similar rates, near the 85, and Schumer is trading near that 65. So of course there's recency bias since it was hit in the cabinet. I'm low-key taking yes here though. I'm taking yes. Especially you think like guaranteed shutdown question. Did you peep the market on if he will congratulate the Nobel Peace Prize lady? Feels to me like he doesn't do it here. He won't do it at all. Yes is at 71%. You got to see the expiration date. So let's do Peace Prize. As long as it's on Kalshi, right? Yep. 70 cents. Trading at yes. Publicly available, verifiable. Before October 15th. So in the 5 days. She's obviously against the Venezuelan government, right? Something that Trump would be proud of. Are we saying that she does get asked, he gets asked a question about her, right? Is Trump such an egomaniac that if he gets asked a question about her, he turns it to himself and says, I should have won? Or does he do the, what he did with the, what's her name? The old lady who died in the court, where he actually congratulates her. RBJ? Ruben, what's her name? I'm sorry. The lady. He actually congratulated her. He had some empathy. He had some grace and said, like, congratulations, but I deserve it next year. Because honestly, the ride he's going on, he's favored to win it next year. But this year, like, the ceasefire wouldn't count. RBG. Yeah. Sorry. Red, blue, green. How do I forget my color reel? I know he has more time, but I feel like after today, they'll stop talking about that prize specifically. So yeah, if you're specifically trading this Nobel Peace Prize and you don't think he's going to say it today, if he doesn't say it today, it's almost like he's not going to say it ever. Especially he's asked a question about it, right? Today would be the day he's asked a question about it, this exact Q&A. You might see the odds fall, if he doesn't mention it, to 30% today, generally. Because if it's almost like it's today or nothing. Especially if he gets asked directly to congratulate her or his thoughts about her. If you think he's an egomaniac, he turns that on himself and doesn't even say congratulations and goes, I deserved it. Right? His campaign would be, if you were watching his campaign, you would be believing that is something he is likely to do. Now, what are you pricing that at? Are you pricing that at 30% chance? Knowing that there's also 5 days, right? That 5 days, you maybe price probability, okay, 10% chance. He says it in the next 5 days. 20% chance he says it tonight. 30 doesn't seem that bad, bro. I think she's a great lady. Many said I actually should have won, right? You're looking specifically in the view full rules what a specific congratulation is. This is for the Saul Goodmans of the world, right? I think she's a great lady. Dude, how's Portugal? Yeah, we're international in this bitch. He's in he's getting Latina ass on him. We still have Trump speaking, yeah. Honestly, we might be flipping this for like a no, right? There's even some Kalshi rewards on this, like for providing liquidity. So, we're gonna see if we're thinking about a human psychology point of view, right? There's gonna have to be a rules cut on this, right? What is a congratulations? What is specifically a congratulations? Specific topic, positions, or language that must be present not critical of. Right? How are we specifically defining what a congratulations is? How are we gonna specifically do that? So there's a chance. I'm thinking he gets asked. The Nobel Peace Prize was won today. What are your thoughts, right? Not even... are you gonna congratulate the woman? If he's asked about the Nobel Peace Prize, he makes it about himself. If he's asked about the woman, I think he congratulates her for winning and then makes it about himself. This is what I think. Now, the real alpha comes in how is the question going to be asked today? Will Maria Machado's name be said in the question or not? Will he be asked about the Nobel Peace Prize or will he be asked about Machado? If he's asked about the Peace Prize, I would reason the fact that he's going to make it about himself. Super low limit order for no. Yeah. If you're getting it like 20, even in this 20s, right? You're gonna see, if you're confident that you're gonna think he's gonna at least say something that doesn't count for the rules as a congratulations, you're gonna see your 20s go to 50, 60, I think, by the end of 24 hours. People might be lagging to this market after this oval announcement. People will be focused on, yeah. So that's a good or bad thing, right? I think it's going to be basically decided by the end of this announcement. It's going to be either bonded to a 95, and there's going to be some 5-cent bids of people that believe that a congratulations wasn't actually said, right? Even if he gets on his hands and knees and goes, Maruda is my mommy, I want my milk, people will still be like, oh, that's not a congratulations, right? That's just some femdom shit. So you're always going to have a little bit of that extra liquidity, even if you're buying it at 20. Or, right? Or he gets asked about the Nobel Peace Prize today. He completely makes it about himself. He says, I should have won. There's so many people saying I should have won. And you see your shares go to 50. And you have a chance to sell, make some profit, or even hold if you don't want paper hands. So... we are live. My shit is delayed, brother. We are going to... I'm gonna refresh my RSBN. I'm not a latency nerd, though. I've muted the RSBN stream for obvious reasons to not, fill your mind with like that bullshit. Not even to call a side. I'm saying either side. Hearing anything politically like that is bullshit. I'm trying to see if the Nobel Peace Prize was insider traded.
From the press there, and then after that we'll be
Crypto Crash. You're gonna have to let me know after this announcement, Nick.
News, which, hey,
we can talk about that. That's fun, bro. I love just hanging out and like chatting about this stuff.
Always positive. All right, my name's Matthew.
I've got port on Bitcoin though. That's really all I've got. I've got port on crypto. Like I'm basically holding Bitcoin and I have a little bit of Litecoin because
more than 3 million.
I've used slots once or twice. That's it.
Matthew Alvarez.
Just now and everything. Well,
else when it comes to RSBN, like Robert McNeely,
that's a good time.
Search their names and
buy the dip. That's what my mom would say. Right? My mom's a big Bitcoiner.
All right, we see the podium there, and any minute now we'll see the President of the United States. Next week's going to be quite busy as well. Right out of the gate on Monday.
Now,
as I believe the President.
I'm not the CT guy to go for this. I'm straight really prediction market, but wow.
For the
let's see how this any reaction on.
I just post the
wow, look at the reaction on Bitcoin this year.
On various places out there that.
Let me. Okay, I'm sorry for unmuting this RSBN sit. We said we're live though. Am I that delayed? Am I that delayed that it's actually live? And I need to get a cable box. I need to get a cable box, brother. Just to trade South Park mentions. Phil Dunn woke at 6 cents. Good trade. Good trade. Because you could get no deal at 6 cents, and that's 100% probability. So, okay, yeah, I was like, no way, my stream's so delayed. I know it's delayed. I know there's latency rats out there that have their cable box hooked up to their microwave, hooked up to their computer, hooked up to their Grok AI making whatever. I use up here, brother. Hey, Locke, just want to come and say that I was once at negative 1K when I first started. It takes time to learn. You're doing great. Keep it up. Can't wait to welcome you to 10K Club, bro. It'll be by the end of October. Nah, I'm joking. No, but thank you. That's actually really nice, Grande. Yeah, I'm believing, right? If we're talking about the loss I had today, I had a loss on AGI, Sam Altman's podcast on TPBN, right? Okay, maybe I could have known the alpha of TPBN being really, really short, probably 10 minutes shorter than I actually thought it was going to be because there was a double guest. But I got AGI fills at 82 cents. It wasn't terrible because prior to that, in the last week, every single interview he said AGI, and he also said it multiple times, right? So I think that was an unlucky beat. It was data-driven. It was seriously a data-driven. We're live? We are live. Man, they got the whole crew here. All right. As a recap, we're huge on Medicare, right? A little 20% return, $60 if he says Medicare. We've sprinkled a little bit on Chicago and Portland and health, but we are on a big Medicare bit. Prescription drugs with huge discounts will be available on Trump. Here we go. This is good for a Medicare bet if we're live trading any of this. Look at these discounts. So these discounts, of course, are going to be available for Medicare people. So I think we're even seeing that 89 cents. Do we buy no on like Hamas? That'd be crazy though. There's obviously a Q&A. But this is obviously driven towards the drug. We're seeing that now. There's going to be lots of other people talking now on Trump. We could buy no on we're still holding out for I think even Medicare is more likely than pharmaceutical at this point. This is what the market's saying. I don't know if I'm believing that, right? I know pharmaceutical is a big word, but Trump is still capable, even with stage 1 dementia, of saying it, right? He's not Biden level yet, but give it 4 years, dude. Can we get a third Trump debate? That would be so fun when he's 86 years old or something. Right, we could. I don't want to be paper hands, right? Paper hands Loxy, right? For a $60 or 20% return, but if there is multiple speakers, there's more chance that he says. I think he could just get away with a drug, and then when talking about just the drug itself, right? It's specifically okay. Who's going to be talking about the Medicare itself, the drum? Like the Trump RPX. Is he going to be the one shilling it out, or? Because if Trump is the one shilling it out, it's not going to be other speakers. Medicare's hitting. Pharmaceuticals. Here we go. We've got Donnie.
Nice to have you. There's a big announcement. We have a lot of big announcements. There's sort of all big announcements, actually.
Oh, no. Is that a callback to the LeBron announcement?
In the Oval Office. I think you probably like it the best. You like it the best for press conferences? I sort of do. But today I'm excited to announce another historic achievement.
Trump might have a cold
tonight,
bro.
To lower drug prices for all Americans.
He's sounding like RFK Jr.
Prices.
Everyone loves the Oval Office.
We've gotten prices way down for groceries, for oil especially. Today
Here we go. Prices down for Medicare users. That's all we're gonna need. That's all we're gonna need.
We think the oil is going to be under $2 a gallon very soon. That's about
gas. Coming out with gas.
70% lower than what it was just a year ago.
This is good for Portland, though, in Chicago. I'm going to be honest.
When the oil comes down, everything comes down. It's pretty beautiful to watch.
He's coming out straight with gas,
the
like
largest pharmaceutical manufacturer in the
United
United Kingdom
at all,
is committing to offer Americans major discounts on their vast catalog of prescription drugs. One of the great companies, by the way, and a most favored nation's pricing clause. So most favored nation is you're going to pay whatever the lowest price anywhere in the world is. That's what you're going to be paying. And
this could be good for hottest, honestly.
My first term, but we were interrupted by a rigged election, so I was unable to carry it forward. We started it, but this was something one of the reasons I wanted to run again was we had to have favored nations. where the world is not going to be paying just a fraction, just a tiny fraction of what we were paying.
Okay,
I want to
he's kinda
thank
dodging Medicare here,
CEO
but
Pascal
still okay.
Soriot, a very highly respected, one of the most respected men in business and certainly in the industry, for joining us today, as well as Secretary Howard Lutnick, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., CMS Administrator Mehmet Oz, FDA Commissioner Marty McCary, and Virginia Governor, a man who's done an incredible job. And good luck with the upcoming election. I know you're working very hard. I watch you. You're right there. He's out there working. He wants to see that young woman win, and the Attorney General, who I endorsed, et cetera, et cetera. Glenn Youngkin. Thank you very much, Glenn. Thank you for being here. For many years, Americans have paid the highest prices anywhere in the world for prescription
Here we go.
drugs
This is where
by
it could be
far.
said.
By far. Many times the amount that other countries are paying is ridiculous. Upon taking office, I signed an executive order to make sure that Americans pay no more for prescription medications than the lowest price for the same drug in other locations in developing nations. Today, AstraZeneca is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid most favored nations prices. In other words, the lowest price anywhere in the world, that's what we get.
Lowest price for the Medicaid users. Let's go, Trump.
And I tell the story, Glenn, that in my first term,
let us go.
I had the honor of being,
we got more fills on our healthy, which I didn't even realize. Right?
Lower drug prices.
Maybe I should cancel these limit orders.
And
I might be.
Did, and I was so
I might be cooked. We filled on our healthy, right? Previously.
1%.
Our healthy was I put in fills at 300 and it got filled at 25 shares, but I forgot to cancel them.
400%, 600%.
Has he said healthy yet?
1,000% in some cases, but for 1/8 of a cent, Bobby, think of that. I was so proud because for 28 years nobody had done it.
He's back.
Now it's
Trump is always there to save the day, brother. You have a bad. If you have a bad mentions, don't worry. Trump is going to speak.
We're going to get, in some cases, 1,000%.
We're going to live trade this for some more money too. Let's be honest.
Impact on everything from Social Security to Medicare to Medicaid, anything where they're buying any prescription.
Rub it in, Trump. Rub it in, baby.
Lower itself greatly. AstraZeneca will also
what a lock, guys!
Many of their most popular
even a retard like me can hit it.
TrumpRx.gov. Sorry. TrumpRx.
Sorry, what? If you are one, you can say it.
But I'm honored to let him do it. That's true, actually. That heavily reduced most favored nations cost.
All right.
Americans can expect discounts, and as I said, it could be in many cases way over 100%.
This is good for hottest, man.
As an example,
you would think like he's basically saying we have, which is crazy. He's basically saying we have the best healthcare system in the world, is what he's saying. It'd be good for hottest, right? We're the hottest country in the world.
54%.
We were a dead country under Biden. Now we're the hottest country. You can't. I can hear him saying that, like. Through my crystal ball, I can hear him saying hottest right now.
In addition, all medications AstraZeneca introduces to the American market going forward will also be sold at heavily discounted rates. Furthermore, AstraZeneca will invest $50 billion in the United States over the next 5 years for research and development of new drugs and to onshore manufacturing facilities across the country, like the new plant.
Fentanyl, too!
Charlottesville, Virginia. Where the governor attended.
I'll take some Fed too.
A tremendous group
of
people.
The new and improved. The Fed X.
600 jobs just to begin with. And that's going to be a fantastic plant. I saw a picture. It's going to be the best, right?
Dude, who's this gingerbread man? Oh my God! Give him a little smile at the end.
Virginia and for American patients and for everything for the country. It's an amazing company to have coming over to the United States and
hottest available at some 40 cents.
Of the company.
Some 40 cent shares
for years to lower the cost of
we could live trade some hottest
my
here.
Administration is actually the first to do it and do it substantially. Do it at numbers that nobody thought, even I thought, were not possible. When you think of it, if you got a 1%, 2%, 5%, that's good. You did a good job. We're talking about 100, 200, 300, 500, 700. in some cases, some big numbers, and the
Maybe
largest
put
drug
cheap
companies
fills
in
on
the world
hottest,
are
dude. It's
working with us to make
you could get
this a
cucked
reality,
though
and so
on
I
some
look
yes
forward
fills,
to
man. I hate
your,
putting limit orders like
opening of
live.
that incredible
I'd rather just do
facility.
apps.
Something
I get
else in a
there's
great
fees,
location, Len.
but
one of the beautiful locations. So I'd now like to ask
Thank you,
Secretary
Eric.
Kennedy to say a few words.
Eric, you
followed
have
by
more.
Dr. Oz,
Ooh.
Pascal.
Dr. Oz
Governor
is
Youngkin,
speaking.
And, we'll take some
This
questions.
is the government,
afterwards.
by the
Would anybody
way.
like to
Is
have-
Doc? I forgot
Yes?
Dr.
Oh.
Oz is part of his
Okay,
cabinet,
we'll
isn't
take
he?
them right after, okay? Bobby, please.
Dr. Oz is part of the presidential cabinet.
I talked about this a little yesterday in the cabinet meeting.
I forgot.
But it's
Oh
worth
my
repeating.
god, dude. Dude, you know what'd be the worst thing of all time? A mention market on RFK. Can you imagine the rules, cucks? Drug. Oh, he didn't say drug? He said drone. Like, dude, your ears after listening to one mention market on RFK, it wouldn't be worth the money. You could give me tens of thousands of dollars each mention market for RFK. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't trade it. It's not worth it. Sorry, RFK.
And I was supposed to, my first year, negotiate 15 and 15 every year thereafter, and that was their plan. The Democrats claimed that they had a 22% reduction, and that was a great success. When we actually
not a
looked at
Democrat
that,
yet?
when I came into
Yes,
the
yes.
agency,
He has.
we realized we were actually paying more.
So things he said.
Eight of those-
We've got
eight of the
we've got our
10
Medicare. No on
22%
tariff.
reduction was off of list price, and Medicare ended up.
Now, the one on tariff is a little bit scary, right? Like going in on no on tariff. Because during the May 12th announcement, if I can find it here. During Trump's press conference on drug prices May 12th, he said it twice. They're going to get tariffed when he's talking about drug companies. You're going to have number one scores that hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff money is coming in, but even bigger than that, your costs for Medicare and Medicaid are basically done. Is what he said on May 12th, right? See, he's talking about European countries. The no on tariff is a little bit tasty, right? But it's not. It's not a good bet. I think that's like giving money. When McDonald's asks you to donate money to their Ronald McDonald charity just so they can have a tax write-off, and your dumbass making $12 an hour says yes, just so a company can pay less in taxes. I think that's the same thing as like buying like no tariff here. Buying no tariff is just like giving money to other people so they can write it off on their taxes. It's gonna hit.
Had extraordinary.
I'm sorry I'm muting this. I just can't even. I can't listen to RFK for that long, bro.
So last week we.
I
had
got
Pfizer,
YOLO. You got
which is
one
the
life.
Biggest American pharmaceutical
you know.
companies. Today,
He says some good stuff, but I'd rather read it than hear it.
of the biggest European pharmaceutical companies, and the president asked us to do three things: one, to get MFN prices; two, to not bankrupt these companies. He understands.
We're seeing a crash on border, right? This could be in reaction to Trump having multiple speakers now. He's going to take a Q&A, though. He's going to take at least another Q&A, another couple questions. He's at least going to be talking about the deal in Gaza and the borders around that, right? If we're saying Israel's still at a 60% chance right now of being talked about in the Q&A, which I would reason it's probably more. If they're having a Q&A, he's going to be talking about it, right? Border should be nearer 60. And then maybe that's stupid, right? But if he talks about Gaza and the deal, he has to be talking about borders. Not only for the fact that he said border a bunch of times during the May 12th announcement, and the fact that he can say border in other contexts, right? When he's talking about the border with Mexico, the border with Canada, the borders in between the Middle East, the border between Ukraine and Russia. Someone ate up those 30 shares, but right, if there's still a chance, they're saying 83% chance he talked about a deal somewhat. It was 60, now it's 50% chance of talking about Israel. 40% chance of talking about Hamas. Border should be higher than those two. Pre-market, trading at 60 though. Not too high. I think border is actually just kind of a strike that gets placed every time there's a Trump mentioned market, so it's kind of rehearsal at that point, but still in context with Gaza, there's a very good chance it gets called.
Since the president has demonstrated in his own commitment to make drug prices lower for hardworking Americans. So I want to thank the president for your visionary leadership. I want to thank Dr. Oz for his part and Marty McCary.
Dr. Oz, bro.
negotiating
I
this
still can't
deal.
get over that.
Dr. Heidi Overton, Theo Merkel.
I can't get over Dr. Oz, bro. Dr. Oz is part of the presidential cabinet.
To these negotiations. Who do we bring up now? Dr. Oz.
Thanks, Secretary.
He'll take your place, Pascal.
We've got Dr. Oz
Oh,
speaking
Pascal,
now.
I get to introduce Pascal,
can't
which
get
I'll
over
do with
this.
great joy and honor. So the world is watching.
Right, I knew Dr. Oz was speaking, right? I knew he's part. I still can't get over the fact that he's even seen in a presidential light.
Parts of Americans and bringing peace of mind to them, especially Americans who cannot afford their medications. And just to put a number on this, as he releases us from the bondage of paying 3 times more for the exact same
Release
product
us
made
from
in
the
the same
bondage.
factory, in the same pill box, in the same instruction manual
This Bitcoin crash is
overseas, rather
interesting.
in this country than we pay overseas, it creates an opportunity for us because, Mr. President, you're turning the art of the deal into the art of the heel. And that is something that you're going to witness today. And it's the second we have more coming, but this is a
As Dr. Oz is speaking, we'll look at the Trump congratulations odds. Went down a little bit, right? Maybe there was a 2% chance he came out with congratulating her about the Peace Prize. Do we think he would have done a Truth Social when it was announced, like this morning? It's been enough time that it's been announced. He has interns on Truth Social. Trump would have probably done a Truth Social by now if that was the plan. It's not like he's going to do it 2 days, 3 days later. Unless someone calls him out for not congratulating her, right? And it becomes a media story. That's the only way I see another Truth Social post coming out about her. Other than that, he gets asked about the Peace Prize today. He makes it about himself. He doesn't congratulate her. This spikes all the way down to like 40%, right? By the end of this speech. It's just wondering if it literally, this entire market, I think, hinders on whether in the Q&A they ask him about the Peace Prize itself or they ask him about the woman. What's her name? Right. Machado. I don't want to say Maruto. I keep thinking Maruto. I'm like, don't say Maruto won the Peace Prize, right? If he gets asked about specifically Maria Machado, I think you see this go to 100%, 95%. There's going to be some rules cucks people out there hoping for a 100% return. This is going to go to a 95%. If he's asked about the Nobel Peace Prize, just the Peace Prize itself in the Q&A, you see this market go to 40%, 30% chance. Like instantly. He makes it about himself. He says he should have won it. And we don't hear about Machado again. The news cycle continues. The government shutdown goes on. We don't hear about Machado again. We don't hear about the Peace Prize again until next year, when Trump does win it next year. That's my prediction. We still got Dr.
We
Oz
just picked the
speaking,
ones
no
for lung
worries.
disease and one for metabolic syndrome, diabetes, but there are others that are included. We have most favored nation pricing for everyone who is on Medicaid in this country. That's why
Dr. Oz
Youngkin
at the
is able
Medicaid,
to do
right?
backflips with his nimble 6'6"
Should have parlayed my mentions with the
because
Dr. Oz
for
mention.
governors, this
so
is a
dumb.
massive problem. If Medicaid
I'm so
prices
dumb.
continue going up, it
would've
crowds
been
out
such
other
a lock.
social services, which he'll speak to. We also have MFN for all new prescription drugs. Mr. President, by the time this term is done, 95% of all drugs sold in America, branded drugs and generic, will be available at most favored nation drug pricing. Americans are going to benefit if the prices drop abroad. So Secretary Lutnick is going to make sure that if we get better prices for these companies from our partner countries overseas, the American people see those benefits, and there's going to be onshoring of manufacturing. And as has been mentioned, I stood with Governor Youngkin and Pascal Soriot as we broke ground yesterday in Charlottesville, Virginia, on a massive $4 billion facility. That's the hard hat, Mr. President. I know you like construction, so that was all I could bring back. But there was a lot of remarkable energy.
We got Dr.
And
Zenzi
here's
yapping,
what that
man.
event
How long
really
is Trump
does.
going to speak
It sends
for,
a
right?
signal.
We got a Q&A, of course. But how long do you think Trump's Q&A is going to be? Anyone got alpha on that? Anyone live trading the Q&A section, right? It's interesting. A lot of these words, right, people thought was going to come up in the Q&A anyways. They knew this announcement was about the drug. So you can get these at the cheap, right? If you thought they're going to talk about the deal no matter what, they're going to talk about the deal no matter what. You knew that the drug announcement, you knew about the Oval announcement, you knew the announcement was about drug prices. But the deal is just so big, it's going to be asked in the Q&A and Trump's going to speak about it. That's what people thought. People knew this announcement was going to be about drugs and the new prices, and the deal is still at 90%. Now, people could reason that deal. Let's do one that's more correlated. Israel. Israel has nothing to do with the drug announcement whatsoever. But pre-market, it was trading at 87% chance of Israel being talked about. So people thought, I know it's about the drug prices, but the deal is too big to ignore. He's going to say Israel. Now, we've gotten through the drug announcement part of Trump speaking. We know there's going to be a Q&A. You could still get Israel at a discount, right? People knew that this drug part was going to be the Oval announcement, and there was going to be a Q&A part. They knew that Israel was going to be said only in the Q&A part, but it's still trading at discount. So unless people were reasoning that he was going to come out the announcement saying, "Oh, look at the peace deal we did with Hamas and Israel," they reasoned wrong. People knew that the announcement was going to be about the drug and that the only chance he says Israel is in the Q&A. The Q&A hasn't even started yet you can still get it at a discount of what it was pre-market, right? So it reasons, it's good knowledge to know, especially on these Trump markets. You know it's an Oval announcement where they're going to be saying something and then having a Q&A after. If you reasoned that a lot of this stuff will be said but only in the Q&A sections, you could put limit orders on Israel at 55 right now. And it was trading at 87 pre-market. It was trading at 87 pre-market. You can put in limit orders as the Dr. Oz's and the gingerbreads of the world are speaking. Get them at 50 cents. And know that there's a good chance it gets brought up in the Q&A, and he still does say it. You just know that you're going to get it at a discount. That's what I think, right? I didn't do the research on Israel before. I didn't do research on the Q&A specifically and how long the Q&A lasts, right? That's the most important alpha. If you're trading between when the announcement is and when Trump's next event is on his calendar, right? You can reason the alpha of how long the Q&A has to last. Of course, there's other things like the Antifa announcement that ended early because of the peace deal in Gaza. He got a note from Marco Rubio saying like, "Hey bro, we need you real bad." But other than that, you can mostly reason how long these Q&As are going to be and the types of questions that's going to be asked. Yes, there will be a question about the peace deal. Yes, there will be a question about the shutdown. You just know. Now, you may not know if there's going to be a question about the National Guard. or Chicago or Portland. I just think I place my bets on those because I think he's just personally right now obsessed with those two. So I thought those were decent bids.
And patients in other wealthy countries. So it's a big win for patients and the healthcare system as a whole. But it's also a big win for the economy and for taxpayers because it supports rebalancing the cost of innovation across wealthy nations. For too long, America has shouldered a disproportionate portion of the world's R&D cost for breakthrough medicines development. That imbalance is not sustainable. It had to change. And equalization levels the playing field, with wealthy nations contributing their fair share to the cost and the risk associated with biopharmaceuticals R&D. And I would say it's also a big win for state budgets because these Medicaid price reductions will have an immediate impact on Medicaid budgets and provide substantial relief to state budgets. Finally, your vision also secures America's strong position in life sciences and the onshoring of critical innovations and manufacturing.
He's a little cutie.
As a company, we will
I don't know who this guy is, but he's a little cutie.
$1 billion in manufacturing and in R&D. We already have a large presence in the United States. We have 19.
That's the type of shit when you've already won on a market and you're just live trading for fun. That's the type of shit you do.
We continue to increase our presence in this country. We're expanding our manufacturing footprint in Texas. We're building our second large R&D center in Kendall Square in Boston. We are building a cell therapy manufacturing plant in Rockville, Maryland, and there's more to come.
Still you can get bids at like 60,
over the next few years. I want to
especially for
say
deal.
That, I appreciate
this
very
is
much
crazy. You could get. I might have to put in bids, right? You could get bids at deal. A deal, like if he talks about it at all, he's going to say deal. This is just a % chance. Is he gonna get asked a question about Gaza? Real transcript heads know. Like he says deal every single. He can say peace deal, the deal in Gaza. Every single time in like every context he talks about it, he says the word deal. So. If you knew that he's going to get asked a question about it, you can get it. Dude, it was trading at 97 pre-market. And right now, you can get bids at 60. This is crazy. He is going to say this in the Q&A. And you can get bids for 30 cents less than what it was pre-market. It was at 97.
Chemotherapy, targeted chemotherapy.
Even if he talks
Dr.
about like
Oz
I have to go because of the deal,
for the groundbreaking ceremony,
he can even say it in the shutdown. He can even say it in the context of the shutdown. The deal. We need a deal between Democrats. Like, this is crazy. Now this is insane. I think this guy, whoever's like wanting to get these no contracts at 27, you're a little bit nuts. You're a little bit nuts for that one. I won't take it though. I want a win. I want to win, okay? A win is a win, right? A win is a win.
Domestic production of medicines for America, enhancing national security in pharmaceutical supply, but also create thousands of highly skilled jobs. Governor Youngkin gave me a beautiful Virginia flag that we will proudly fly alongside the American flag in front of our new facility. So AstraZeneca's commitment to the United States is very strong. And this agreement ensures we make an even bigger difference for American patients.
Kazakhstan?
So, Mr. President, thank you again for
welcoming I think Kalshi's now available in Kazakhstan.
Office and for making this moment possible.
After Trek's announcement today.
Thank you.
Over to you, Glenn.
Oh, it's not.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone for celebrating.
It's Gavin Newsom. No, it's not the Kazakhstan president. It's some fucking goober instead. I don't know who that guy is, but damn. He should start a bakery or something.
Access medicines. And it is a step function change.
This is unironically the Republican Gavin Newsom. Look at this. This is the Republicans' response to Gavin Newsom. All he needs to do now is hire an intern that tweets just like Trump, and he'll get presidential odds on Kalshi, bro. That's all you gotta do nowadays. All you gotta do is copy Trump tweets, make 70% of it in capitals, and then you instantly jump up 5% president odds. Someone get an intern, a Twitter intern for this guy, bro.
You've heard that American customers have been paying 3, 4, 5 times what international customers have been paying.
Nobel Peace
That
Prize
is
all
just
the
not
way down.
fair. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for simply recognizing that America must come first. And Americans deserve.
For real, just one reporter asked him and we're good. He's called her already. Why is this not settled? Nobel winner congratulated by Trump. We're gonna read a little bit.
300 million, 450 million.
I had Medicare. I'll show you.
Can be.
My big bet was Medicare, Medicaid, hit, absolute lock, of course. No, we got hit a couple actually Medicare, Medicaid. So this was a good position. It was 240 to 300, just a cheeky 60. Our healthy is not looking good, but there's still some time. And we got Chicago, Portland. Just because I think he's obsessed. I wouldn't tail these. Honestly, I wouldn't probably tail that healthy either. I would have tailed the Medicaid. This got filled at a very low price, so that's why we have healthy. And it was said 6 different times during the May 12th. It was said 6 different times during the May 12th announcement. RFK Jr. is there. Trump is currently sleeping right now, though, if you can see. So I wouldn't tail those. Honestly, if I'm tailing anything, I'd probably go no I don't know, maybe no tariff or something. I would have probably tailed the Medicaid, though. I probably should have tweeted it before, but I jumped on this market like an hour before. So I had like an hour of research. Yeah, so this is interesting, right? So this is what I was really looking at, because I think specifically this market is almost like decided by tonight. I know that the market is... We've got 5 days. It's till October 15th. And of course, a source agency can say it. But it's about a publicly available and verifiable source. So, of course, there was this source that was posted in Ideas. The Nobel winner, Machado, was congratulated by Trump through a phone call. We're reasoning tonight. There's a Q&A during this Medicare announcement tonight. He's going to get asked about the Nobel Peace Prize. It's just wondering if he's going to get asked about Machado or if he's just going to get asked whether he thinks he deserves it.
So we have, at this moment, I think we just cracked $18 trillion in commitments and investments in our country. As an example, the last administration was far less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We're at plus $18 trillion
last administration
for 8 months. There's never been anything like it in history, in any country, anywhere in the world. So
dodge the Biden there.
But maybe for purposes of this, more importantly,
we could get a hottest here, though.
Drug prices down at numbers that nobody ever thought possible, Glenn. I think nobody ever even thought it was possible. So we're going to be doing a lot of business, but we're going to be also numbers that when you're 2, 3, 4, 500% less. I just noticed one of them over here, 654% discount. 654. The laggard is 98%, right? 9 is that what? Wow, 96, 230%, but 654, and we have some that top that by a lot. So it's really going to be incredible, and that's going to be so good for Medicaid and Medicare and everything. Frankly, for your life, it's going to be so good. So nobody ever thought they were going to see. And don't let Democrats take the credit, because they'll try. They'll say, "Oh, we worked so hard on it." They didn't work hard.
Democrat.
They obstructed. They actually did the opposit.
Democrats.
So that's really more important than even the tremendous investments being made in our country. But think of it: we cracked $18 trillion with a T, $trillion And
he's kind of on the economy right now.
$1 trillion for 4 years wasn't that bad. He did less than $1 trillion.
He did.
But we did that in a period of 8 months. So
Did we dodge Biden?
Pretty record-shattering by
He
by
dodged
many
it twice,
trillions of
brother.
dollars. Any country, no matter what country you're talking about, nobody's done numbers like that. So thank you all for being here. Do you want to have a couple of questions? Yeah, please.
One on this, if I could, and one on China.
I want to fade Biden. No. I want to fade Biden. No, so bad.
Without that
Fuck it.
tariff that you imposed.
Fuck it. Bang! We're fading no Biden, bro. I don't care. I don't care. He
Never
dodged
been
it
able to-
twice.
Now, I'm not sure that Pascal would like to say, but behind the scenes,
He dodged
did
it
say
twice.
the
He's going to
tariffs
get
were a
asked
big
about
reason he
Israel.
came
He's going to
here,
get
and
asked about the
also fact he
shutdown.
loved Virginia.
He's
He
off
liked this
Biden.
guy.
He's
He
off
liked
Biden.
me. I think the November 5th election was a very important date. We had a good election, and that was important. But yeah, he's here. A lot of. I can speak for almost everybody that's here. Most of them are here because of tariffs, because you have to understand he has no tariffs.
Tariff
If
it.
you build in this country, there are no tariffs. So.
Let me ask you about China, if I could. Just want to confirm, have you canceled your meeting with President Xi? And
No, I haven't canceled. But
China?
I don't know that we're going to have it. But
We have a
I'm
China
going to be
strike?
there regardless, so I would assume
China
we
strike.
might have it. But they hit the world with something that really is not anything that people are going to do, and it was shocking. I can tell you, Howard and I and Todd, we all Scott, we were all speaking about it before, and we said, where did that come from? It was just. That was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, they came up with this whole import-export concept, and nobody knew anything about it. So.
if they roll back their export control announcement, would you roll
Yeah,
back?
look,
We're getting through a whole Q&A with no Biden. Come on, Trump.
we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Mr. President, the last time, Mr. President,
Go ahead, please.
what else besides software could be on the table in terms of export controls?
A lot more. I mean, you have software, but you have a lot more. We have airplanes. We have airplane parts. You remember that from last time. And we were just surprised at China. I have a very good relationship with President Xi, and they did that. This is not something that I, instigated. This was just a response to something that they did, and they didn't really.
I think he
aim
gets
it at
asked
us.
one question
They
about
aimed it at
Chicago,
the whole
Portland, so
world.
I'm
The whole
holding
world
those. I think those are
is,
fine.
Is subject to it. So I thought it was very, very bad. But we have many things, including a big thing is airplane. They have a lot of Boeing planes, and they need parts and lots of things like that. Steve.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to accept
Israel question?
And what will be your message to the Knesset when you speak to them?
Well, he wanted it. It's been a long time. He's been fighting a long time. He's been fighting hard. He wanted it. It's a great deal for Israel, but it's a great deal for everybody, for Arabs, for Muslims, for everybody, for the world. And as you know, on Monday the hostages come back. They're getting them now. I mean, they're getting them now. They're in some pretty rough places under earth. They're in some pretty rough places where only a few people know where they are in some cases. So they're getting them, and they're also getting the bodies, approximately 28 bodies. And some of those bodies are being unearthed right now as we speak. I mean, they're working on it right now.
I'm looking at rare earth, seeing if anyone's going to fade it.
Tragedy. No, he was very happy with it. And I can tell you that I saw Israel dancing in the streets, but they were dancing in Qatar and Saudi Arabia and UAE and many, many countries. I saw Egypt. They were dancing. I'll be going to Israel. I'll be speaking at the Knesset.
No Hamas, though, seems.
Early on. And then I'm also going to Egypt. They were terrific. But all of the countries were great. Indonesia was great. Jordan was great. They were all great. Everybody wants this deal to happen.
What happens in Gaza the day after the hostage release?
This non-Hamas got cleared.
After the hostage release, what happens there then?
Well, hopefully you're going to have great success I call it everlasting success. I think you will, too. I think you're going to have tremendous success, and Gaza is going to be rebuilt. And you have some very wealthy countries, as you know, over there. And it would take a small fraction of their wealth to do that. But and I think they want to do it. And we're also setting up, as you know, a board of peace. It's called the Board of Peace. I don't know if that's the final name, but the word peace is definitely in there. They have asked me if I chair it. We'll make sure things go well.
And how confident are you that the ceasefire will hold?
I think it'll hold, yeah. I think it'll hold.
Did he say Hamas here?
They're all tired of the fighting. Don't forget, you had October 7th, which was a horrible day, 1,200 people killed. But Hamas has lost 58,000 people. That's big retribution. That's big retribution. People understand that. So, no, I think they're all tired of fighting, and this really gives the whole Middle East. This is beyond Gaza. Gaza is very important, but this is beyond Gaza. This is peace in the Middle East, and it is a beautiful thing. You know, it's a term that you and I have been hearing since we were very young, right? And now we have a chance of really having that. And as you know, most of the countries have passed all these resolutions. Every country's there. Iran came in. I was very happy to see that. I was very honored that Iran came in. They said they support it. Russia came in. President Putin, he supports it fully, very fully.
Wow.
So I was happy to see even countries that weren't necessarily involved in the process, they all support it. I don't know of anybody that doesn't. And I've never seen happier people than many of these places, not just Israel. Many of these places, they're all dancing in the streets. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, go ahead, please, in the back.
Thank you. What guarantees will you give Hamas to persuade them that Israel won't restart the bombing campaign once the hostages have been exchanged?
What did I do with respect to them? Well, you know, I spoke a little bit tough, and that's what would happen. I mean, you have to speak tough. That's a tough world. That's a tough, as they say, neighborhood. And they're tough people. They're very tough people, and they're smart people. They're good negotiators. They have a lot of things going. They put that to good use. They're going to be very, very successful. But they knew the retribution would be tremendous, unsustainable. It would have been unsustainable. It would have been complete obliteration. And
come on,
they didn't want that. And nobody wants it at this point. They want to get on with rebuilding the entire Middle East. It's not only Gaza. It's going to be the entire Middle East. They're going to be able to live in peace. Now, we have some little hot spots, but they're very small. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're very small. They'll be very easy to put out. Those fires are going to be put out very quickly. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. Talking about the Middle East still, going to the phases that come after this first phase, is there consensus on the additional points in your plan, or are the details still being fine-tuned?
I think there is consensus on most of it, and some of the details, like anything else, will be worked out, because you'll find out that when you're sitting in a beautiful room in Egypt, it's easy to work something out, but then sometimes it doesn't work from a practical standpoint. So certain little things, but for the most part, there's consensus, yes.
Do you intend to hash that out when you're in Egypt?
I might, yeah. I mean, I'll be there because I'll be going to, I'll go to Cairo. I think that's where we're going, as opposed to the place of the signing. And we have a lot of leaders from all over the world coming too. They've been invited. And then I'm coming back, I believe it's Tuesday night, for Charlie Kirk, a friend of mine, a friend of all of ours, a friend of a lot of the people right here.
Wow.
And we're giving him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honor you get outside of the Congressional Medal of Honor. One's military, one's civilian, but it's the greatest honor. And Erica, his beautiful wife, is going to be here, and a lot of people are going to be here. So, it's not easy for me to get back. It's a very quick trip, but I'll be making 2 major stops, and then I'll be on the plane trying to get back in time for Charlie. They're going to have a great celebration at the White House, in the East Room of the White House.
Mr. President. Russell Vogt said the reductions in force have begun related to this shutdown. How many layoffs have you authorized for this first round, and from which agencies?
And it'll be Democrat-oriented, because we figure, they started this thing, so they should be Democrat-oriented. It'll be a lot, and we'll announce the numbers over the next couple of days, but it'll be a lot of people, all because of the Democrats. I mean, they want to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into the country illegally. More important than that, because we all have a big heart. We want people to be taken care of, but we have 0 people coming in. You know that, Glenn, right? That's a pretty impressive number, even for a successful governor.
Wow, he's kind of dodging this shutdown.
But we've had for the last 4 months 0 people coming in illegally. They're coming in, but they're coming in legally. They're coming in through a process that's really a really good process.
He's dodging that shutdown.
We want people to come in, but they have to
Hopefully
come in
someone
legally.
asks
So
him about the Chicago Portland thing, man.
As as these different groups come due, we're going to make a determination. Do we want them or not? And I must tell you, a lot of them happen to be Democrat-oriented. These are people that the Democrats wanted that in many cases were not appropriate. We fought them at the time, and it was ultimately signed in. And some of these people, these are largely people that the Democrats want. Many of them will be fired.
Shut
yes,
down
please,
trading
yeah.
at like 50.
The Nobel Peace Prize was announced this morning. Your thoughts?
Which one?
The Nobel Peace Prize.
Peace Prize. Here we go.
Look, including a very big one, and I'm not sure, when you say big, it's certainly, I think, to the mind of most, the most important deal ever made in terms of peace. But the one we just signed, it's been signed, sealed, and it's going to start taking place now.
He's glazing himself.
Monday's going to be a very big day when the hostages come back. But I made 8 deals, transactions of wars. One was 31 years going on. 10 million people were killed. One was 34 years. One was 36,
He's glazing himself.
37.
I will wait till the end of the question, but I'm
was 10,
thinking of buying no here.
2 were just starting, actually, but they were well on their way. In the case of India and Pakistan, 7 planes were shot down. It was a bad one. And I did it largely through trade. I mean, that one, numerous of them. I talked tariffs. I said, look, if you're going to do that, we're going to put very big tariffs on your country. And they were both great. They stopped fighting, and they were 2 nuclear powers. So, they're all big. They're every one of them big. You take a look at the Congo. You take a look at the Congo.
He's just glazing himself, man.
Rwanda.
He
10
is
million
just glazing
people
himself.
killed
Yeah, he
over
said
a
Israel.
long period of time. Got that one solved. We did a total of 8 as of this 2 days ago. I would have said 7, which I did say, but
6,
the
7?
other one was signed up, sealed.
6, 7
As
hit.
you know, Israel signed it just now. They signed it and they approved it today, their parliament. And it's a great honor to be involved with so many. So the person who actually got the Nobel Prize
here we go.
called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. That a very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me though. I think she might have. She was very nice, and I've been helping her along the way.
I've been helping her.
They need a lot of help in Venezuela.
They need help.
Basic disaster. So, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. All of the transactions that we did.
I'm saying that's a no. I'm saying that's a no. I'm buying shares.
There are those that say we did so much.
I'm buying shares at no.
Done it, but I don't.
I'm buying based off Trump's
happy
ego.
Because they saved millions of lives.
I'm counting that as a no.
And speaking of somebody that saves lives, don't ever play golf with it because Keegan
Here we
Bradley
go.
just walked in.
400 shares that Trump doesn't congratulate the Peace Prize winner.
And man, I'll tell you, you did a good job. You almost
We can ride that one back. We can ride that one back.
You because you really deserved it. Who act now? They signed it and they approved it today. Their parliament, and it's a great honor to be involved with so many. So the person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor.
Did you say they called me?
The person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said...
It sounds like he said he called me, like he doesn't even know who it was.
So, the person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me.
He could be saying they called me, right? But...
And said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. A very nice thing.
That's not a congratulations! That's not. I called you and I'm honoring you? Dude, what an egomaniac. Let's go. Yeah. I'm saying that's not a congratulations at all.
The restaurants are booming. They're opening up new restaurants. The restaurants are all
did he say
closing.
Portland?
Now you can't get into a restaurant. They're opening up new restaurants. It took 12 days for us. We sent in not politically correct military. We sent them in based on merit. We won the case in the Supreme Court. Everything now is based on merit. Our country was founded on things based on merit.
Fake news? Wow.
Like Keegan Bradley's not going to be playing golf if he wasn't a great player. If he shoots
golf
low
would have hit
scores,
too.
Boy, there's no more merit system than that one, Keegan, right?
How are we not getting Chicago or Portland here?
They don't say, oh, that's okay, let's take it again, do they? No, it's based on merit. Everything's based on merit. And we're back to the merit system. And when they saw that military is all about merit. They're big, strong people that they're patriots too. And you take a look at D.C., and now we're in Memphis, and Memphis was really crime-ridden. It was terrible. A lot of people being killed. And they say in 12 days they can't even believe how much better it is. And it'll take probably a month over there. And we're heading to Chicago because we want to save Chicago. Do you know they had over 4,000 people killed in Chicago over a short period?
I was like, no way he goes Memphis and doesn't say Chicago.
And I have to watch this slob of a governor stand up and say that, well, everything's okay. We've got it under control.
All right, get to Portland now.
4,000 people murdered.
Get to Portland
now.
Over
a very short period of time. There's not a city in the world, I don't believe, that can claim. You know, you hear so much about different. I won't, embarrass anybody, like by saying Mexico City or by saying anywhere in Afghanistan. There's no place like that. And then I have to listen to the mayor who's got a 5% approval rate, maybe less.
Yep.
He's an incompetent
man. I told you, he's obsessed with this guy for some reason.
He's a guy that
obsessed with the mayor of
Chicago.
Business,
like a dog. And his family very well. And now he's a governor. And when I watch him trying to say that it's okay, we have crime under control, I lost 4,000 people over a very short period of time.
But it's not as bad as Portland, right?
Over, I believe it's like 7,000 people.
6,700!
But didn't die. But 4,000 people died.
Sorry.
And then he gets up and talks about how...
Get on to Portland now.
It's not a problem. Or Portland, Oregon. I mean, yes! Every time I look at that place, the place is burning down. There's fires all over the place. When a store owner, there are very few of them.
He is obsessed!
He builds a store.
Yes!
They build it out of plywood, and they don't put up storefronts anymore. They just put wood up.
They just put wood up. Yes, Chicago and Portland.
It's so wonderful. It's a disaster. That's almost an insurrection.
If we can get a health now...
people in there, and they do
if we can get a health now...
Really done the job. And the beautiful thing is we've done it. 12 days. We
hottest?
Had this place saved.
Wow, hottest hit.
I would say within a month it was beautiful. And it continues to be. That was 3 months ago. I'll tell you,
hottest
DC
must have hit.
now is one of the hottest places, just like this country. We're a dead country, and you've heard me say it 100 times. We're a dead country.
I know!
The King of Saudi Arabia said it.
He said it so many times.
The Emir of Qatar.
Just don't say Biden, brother.
Many. UAE said it. The leader, great leader, UAE, all great leaders. They said
just no Biden
the
here.
Same thing. 1 year ago, we had a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I just want to thank everybody.
Yes!
I want to, in particular,
no Biden!
Seneca, what a great company you have. What a company you've built. You've been there a long time and done some job. It's an honor to have you. I assume you're going to build. So it's $4.5 billion for a plant. That's a pretty big plant.
Wow.
I was going to say, could he make it a little bit more?
I want to sell this economy.
Spend $65 billion on one. AI. All I know is it's, AI
I can't
is based
even.
on information. I hope they're right about information. I don't know. You got to make a lot of money there's got to be a lot of information out there, but that seems to be pretty hot. But we have a lot. We're leading the world on information on AI, as you know, by a lot. It's not even close.
Wow, is it ending?
And I want to thank everybody, but in particular, Pascal, thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Is that done? Wow.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good time.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you, press.
The hottest hit at the end. Wow. Okay. You may question why I didn't buy some no theirs, right? When the no's were available at 95, when he was seemingly ending. He did not, I don't have the lowest latency stream, right? I'm literally just going off straight YouTube. So I was a little bit scared that it happens sometimes. He says he's ending and it doesn't. We got away with a no Biden. Or healthy did not hit. That is a surprise. I'm going to be honest. I was holding it through the Q&A thinking there was a chance RFK Jr. is right there. But it is okay. Overall, we made money on this market. Even with the health loss. Kalshi is saying $50. Kalshi is saying $50. So thank God for that Portland and Chicago at the end. Saved me a little bit. We hit on our Medicare. $60 there. Absolute lock. you know, a little cheeky $30 on the Chicago and Portland. We lost $80 on the health, a actual scare there. But what saved us in the end is a live trade on no Biden. Wow, the balls to do that. Like $50 right there on a no trade on Biden. You gotta say, you gotta use your data, but you also got to use your balls, man. You gotta use your head, your autism. You gotta realize some dodges in the meantime. Now, it got really close at the end with the Biden. At the very end, man, when he was bringing up the dead country. Whoo, I thought he was gonna say it. And we've live traded the Nobel Peace Prize winner. I was like, that's not a congratulations. The market agrees with me. You see it now. Tank, 64 cents. You see the market tank. 37% chance he congratulates her. $100 unrealized return in 20 minutes. Right? I could paper hands this one. I could sell this now. Or I could hold. I'm betting on Trump's ego. Look, the news cycle, it's going to take this away. By the end of today, you'll see this at like 30 cents. 30% chance, yes. Now, I don't want to be paper hands, but that is a good trade right there. That is the best live trade I've ever done. Let's fucking go. What's going on? What's up, bro? So we live traded the Nobel Peace Prize winner. I will see that only tank and tank. I goggled up those 32 cent shares. There was even like, I got 400, but there was even more available, man. There was even more available. We made money. We made $50 on the OVO announcement. We've got $100 unrealized on the Nobel Peace Prize winner. I wasn't joking when I said, bro, I'm gonna be up there, okay? I'm doing the data. I'm applying my autism to these mentions. I'm on the mentions every single... We're gonna be up there, boys. We're gonna be up there. Shit, I would bet maybe by the end of this week I'll be profitable, okay? I know I said by the end of the month, by the end of October. If we look at the current profit loss, of course, this is available. All my trades are public. All my trades are public. My profit loss is completely public. I will keep it that way. Unless I actually found out somehow to make money. I'm joking. I'll make my hedge fund public. We're up on the loss, right? $1,200 loss. But that $50 just ate up a bit of that loss on the Oval Office announcement. If the health hit, we would have been up $200, say. But that's what happens when you gamble, man. We still are up money though, with everything. This was a great live trade, man. This Nobel Peace Prize. Anyone on this market, man? I wonder if anyone I know someone said they were putting low limit orders on no. They were putting no limit orders on no, but if we run that back, specifically where he talks about her, let's see if we can... I don't know. I don't know if I can find it specifically. But where specifically he talks about her, right? That was not a congratulations whatsoever.
How many layoffs have you offered?
Over to the country.
I think it's before Erica? Before the Kirk mention?
He knew smart people.
Bro, we made $50 on this Trump market, and we just flipped. We can flip $100 right now if we want on the Nobel Peace Prize, whether Trump is congratulating or not. But I don't think Trump congratulates her, bro. He already did it, right? He already did it specifically. I'm looking at this remove paywall Bloomberg article. Right? Donald Trump congratulated the Venezuelan opposition leader through phone call, which is not a publicly available, right? The rules information says qualifying statements must be publicly available and verifiable. So this would not count for the market resolution, right? But this Bloomberg article has already said that Trump has already congratulated her. But it has to be orally, and when he speaks about it, let's see.
Phase.
I'm a proud go to believe it greatest very quickly.
When is he asked about the question?
It's not so.
He's when he's asked about Nobel Prize specifically,
We'll
it's
announce
like
the numbers over the next couple of days, but it'll be a lot.
I don't know how to find it.
Anything like
It's
it
not
in-
like the transcript's gonna be out, but
I'm a proud-
he did not congratulate her, bro. He was asked directly about this. I think the new cycle effect isn't going to be in effect, and we will see this market tank to like 20% chance by the end of tonight. I don't think after today he gets asked about it again. And if he gets asked about it again, he makes it about himself like he did today. So WW live trade there. The man who gave me the hint of that the market exists, bro, bless you up. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to go through my stream basically and see who gave me the tip of that this market existed. I didn't even know. But you are right that now look how it's getting live traded. These are people that are coming from the mentions market, finding this new market and buying no because they heard what they heard. What a beautiful tip. $130 made and unrealized, of course, right? Paper hands, but great live trade. All right. I think that will be it for me today. That'll be it. Yep. We will be riding. Let's see. What's the next mention market? Specifically tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow we got Saturday Night Live. Amy Poehler, what Amy Poehler's going to say during SNL. We're watching that one. I think Mr. Beast uploaded today. I thought it was on Saturdays, but Mr. Beast uploaded today. But we will be back at least for that Amy Poehler. I'm really excited, right? We're going to be discovering some alpha. To let y'all know, just specifically on this, let's find this Amy Poehler market. This is so fun. I want to do every single SNL one. We've got money on her to mention Tina Fey. Right now, it's the most likely one. If you know anything about Amy Poehler, you know her mentioning Tina Fey tomorrow is an absolute lock. So we're gonna adjust some of these limit orders. Let's do 6-7. 6-7. I'm actually so confident. We'll do 200 contracts at 6-7. She's gonna mention Tina Fey, bro. Of course, the bots are already following me, but Tina Fey's an absolute lock to get mentioned during, and that will only go up. That will only go up until the premiere. I see that premiering before the premiere. This goes up to 85-90 cents. A little tip, a little alpha tip there. If anyone wants to fill my limit orders, thinks I'm a fucking doofus, I will point you to my profit loss, right? If you want to fade me, please fade me. I'm down 1,000. But Tina Fey's an absolute lock. Maybe no Trump. Right? Maybe no Trump. We're going to scour some of these podcasts, especially you could see I've watched the Rachel one she just did. Specifically like this Rachel one, this Kristen Wiig one. It might be very important to listen to, but we will be back for this Amy Poehler mention market. It's going to be fun. We got a couple strikes. I might even ask for a couple more, depending on what I hear in this mention market. So, GG's to everyone. Oval Office announcement mention market. We're up $50. We're calling that a $50 win. Chicago hit. We got our big play of Medicare to hit. Portland hit. We've lost on the healthy mention, but we actually successfully live traded a no Biden. We might be the first person in history, in mention market history, for Trump to not say Biden. That is a complete read. I'm going to be honest on my end. It didn't work out. I did the same thing in the cabinet. I think cabinet or the Finland bilat. I traded no Biden and I got screwed. But The thesis is because of the shutdown, he's stopping blaming Democrats so much more so he can get to a resolution. What a huge dub. We'll be back for the SNL. W-Stream, thanks for hanging out. Anyone who did. We're going to get this positive by the end of the month. This number is going to be green. Like this suit.